Believe it or not, I used to be a new player. Crazy, I know, but that's kinda how that works. But when I was first starting Neverwinter, there were a bunch of things that I wish I knew. So today I have for you 20 tips for new players in 2020. I made a similar video to this in the past, but it's on my old channel that was hijacked and currently does not exist, so I thought I would make an updated, better one on my new channel. If you're not a new player, some of these things may seem really obvious to you, but a lot of things aren't made clear to people who are just starting out, so hopefully this video will help you out and make some things easier to understand. That's the goal anyway. Alright, so tip number 1. Don't worry too much about your character during the leveling process. The gear and the stats you have won't really matter until you're level 80 and start participating in dungeons and campaigns. Just put on whatever gear you can find, but just make sure you're wearing pants though. Take them from an orc if you have to, but please wear pants. Don't worry about making your stats perfect until you're past level 80 and start actually making enough Astral Diamonds to realistically support getting the stats you want. Number 2. Get all the free inventory space there is. There are 6 places where you can get bags. The first one being the Black Lake District, which is the first zone you'll get access to. The quest for it is called Close to the Crown. The second bag you can get is in the Neverdeath Graveyard area, and you'll get it after you complete the Clockwork Guild Tomb quest, which is basically one of the last quests in the area. The third one comes from the Staff of Savras mini introductory campaign thing, and you get this campaign from Sibella, and it starts in the Tower District zone. The fourth bag you can get comes as a reward for using someone's referral link, and I'll talk about this in a minute. The fifth place to get a bag is during the Neverember's recruitment event, which happens a couple times a year. New characters leveled during the event gain a currency that can be used to purchase valuable items, one of which is a runic bag that has 36 slots. Very nice. The last place to get a free bag is not guaranteed, and you won't even have access to it until after you're level 70, but there's a small chance to get a Dragon Cult bag from the Temple of Tiamat trial. So overall, there's plenty of inventory space available, and I recommend getting as much of it as you can. It will make your life so much easier. Trust me. Number 3. Now, you're probably wondering what this referral thingy is that I just mentioned a minute ago, but basically it's just somebody who refers you to the game. If you're brand new or if you have a character below level 10, you can use a referral link to get some gear, a free mount, a free bag, and a free companion. And the companion's actually pretty decent. My referral link is in the description if you would like to use that, but it only works for PC players since referral links have to be for the same platform you play on. If you have an Xbox or PS4 referral link, you can share it in the comments so that the new console players can use one of those. You can claim your rewards with the big Claim Rewards button on the home screen, which you get to by pressing L on PC. I don't know what the keybind is for console. Or you can visit the reward claim agent in the Enclave. If you already have a character higher than level 10, it won't work, even if you delete the character, which kinda sucks. Number 4. When you're creating a character, do a quick search to figure out which ability scores you should be focusing on. This way, you can pick the racial ability bonus that suits you and you'll know where you want to put your points as you're leveling up. You can hover over each ability score to see which aspects of your character it affects. Number 5. Don't skip over the Acquisitions Incorporated campaign that starts at level 15. To start the campaign, you'll need to pick up a flyer from the Enclave, and there's like 50 of them sparkling all over the map, so it's pretty easy to find. If you do skip this, it's really annoying to come back to later. It's better to do it early while the enemies are still a similar level to you, and it will help you level up too. Number 6. Once you unlock Cloak Tower, which is the first dungeon, start doing your daily random dungeon for some Astral Diamonds. You can save up the AD you get from the random dungeons to buy a faster mount, because moving around slowly is probably one of the most annoying things, and it's also going to give you some extra XP and speed up your leveling process a little bit. Number 7. Don't waste too many Astral Diamonds on things you don't need, especially early on when you don't have a reliable way to get money. It's kind of like real life. Of course, there will always be that one thing that you just have to have, but try not to go overboard. Number 8. Play through the Undermountain campaign and level to 80 first before going back and doing the other major campaigns for boons. It'll be easier that way. Good ones to start out with are Elemental Evil, Dreadring, Sharendar, and Maze Engine just because those are the simplest and the quickest to get through. I strongly advise that you do not buy any campaign buyouts for your first character. You'll miss a lot of story and have a lot less experience when you try to run the dungeons associated with those campaigns. A lot of the time, dungeon mechanics are shown to you at some point during the campaign, and if you miss out on that, you'll have no idea what to do in the dungeon. Number 9. Join a guild. Guilds offer boons that significantly increase your stats, as well as a bunch of people to do quests and run dungeons with, or to just hang out with. But do a little research before joining the first random guild that will pick you up. Read about the guilds you're interested in, talk to a couple people from it, make sure they speak the same language as you and are in the similar time zone to you, and see if you'll enjoy yourself there. You can switch guilds whenever you want, but your first experience will shape your opinion of guilds, so make sure it's a good one. Number 10. Don't be afraid to delete a character and try another class if you're not having fun. You get 2 character slots for free, so that's already 2 classes you can try out, and getting additional slots is really cheap. There are 8 different classes in Neverwinter, so if you're not feeling the first one by the time you unlock Paragon Paths, which is level 30, try a different one. Don't torture yourself. Number 11. As soon as you unlock professions, start the workshop quests and work on leveling up the profession of your choice. These will allow you to make various potions, armor reinforcement kits, dyes, and so on. It'll also allow you to participate in event-specific professions, such as the Summer Festival, where you can craft limited-time foods that will increase your stats. Watermelon sorbet is one of the foods you can craft during the summer event, and it sells for a decent amount. It's also the best food in the game. Don't question it. Number 12. As you're leveling up, but more importantly after you hit level 70 and 80, check the auction house for some cheap gear. It'll make your life easier instead of having to wait and hope you get a new pair of pants that fall off that enemy you just killed, and you probably wouldn't want to wear those pants anyway. Stinky. Number 13. If you find yourself getting irritated by the various political and religious arguments that happen in the Enclave Zone chat, you can turn it off. If you're in a guild or have friends to play with, I usually recommend people just turn off the Zone and the Say channels, but some people do like to keep them on. Also, the difference between the Zone and the Say channels is not explained in the game. So basically, each map in the game is divided into instances which are copies of the same map to split up the player base and reduce the load on the servers. So the Say channel only sends messages to the players who are in the same instance of the map as you, whereas the Zone channel sends messages to all of the instances of the same map. The Say channel also supposedly has a radius as well, so messages you send will only be sent to players who are in your instance that are also within a certain distance from you. I hope that made sense. Number 14. Armor penetration is the most important stat for doing damage. I recommend you watch a video or read an updated guide about which stats to go for and how much of each stat you're going to need. The concept of opposing rolls is not explained, and the number of stats enemies have at every level is not explained in-game either, except for the dungeons. Now, this isn't as important while you're leveling, but it's still some nice information to know, and it does become more important later on. Number 15. You'll have the best experience if you don't copy a build from someone right away. Experiment with the powers you think sound fun and seem good. You can always change everything later. Retraining tokens are very common during the summer and winter festivals, so it's easy to get lots of them. You can also retrain using Astral Diamonds now as well, but that shouldn't be necessary once you've been through one of the festivals. I got like 100 retraining tokens one year. You can get a lot. Number 16. As soon as you have enough Astral Diamonds, probably after your mount purchase, pick up the cheapest Augment Companion on the auction house and some cheap companion gear to put on it. Don't worry about which one is the best right away. Augment Companions will give you 100% of their stats, which will make leveling easier. Rank 7 or rank 8 Bonding Runestones are pretty cheap as well, and those will give you even more of your companion stats. There's a link to a spreadsheet in the description that has all the companions and a ton of other useful information. Number 17. You can only have one buff from each type of consumable active at a time. For example, different types of potions will override each other. You can have one potion, one stronghold food, one event food, one elixir, one trinket, and one invocation buff active at a time. Applying a second buff from the same category will just override the first one, which you probably don't want to do. Or maybe you do. I'm not judging. Number 18. Look around for giveaways. After a new module comes out, there are usually a couple of promotions floating around the internet with free stuff. It's usually just potions, injury kits, a cape, and so on, but occasionally there are unique mount ones. Some content creators also receive codes monthly to give away to their communities. If you do get a code for a giveaway, you can redeem it in the Arc client. If you don't use the Arc client, there's a link on the Neverwinter forums where you can redeem your code, or you can just use the link I have in the description. Number 19. Now let's talk about Zen, which is the premium currency. Don't buy Zen prematurely. Make sure you know you want to support the game before doing so. Most things on the Zen market right now are not worth the money. I had a video on my old channel that reviewed the Zen market, and I talked about what was and was not worth buying, but that channel doesn't exist anymore, so I'll have to make an updated version soon. But if you do want to purchase Zen, the best time to do so is during a bonus currency event or a promotional reward period, and the best time to spend it is during a big sale where everything is 40 or 50% off. These sales are at Black Friday and during the anniversary event in the summer. But if you're not patient, there are smaller category-based sales in between, like every other week or something like that, and you can get coupons from invoking. The best thing to buy is VIP. When you do buy Zen, don't buy it through Steam. It is a lot more likely to put your account on probation, meaning everything you buy with a Zen becomes bound to your account for a week or so. You also won't get the free bonus Zen for buying in bulk, so just buy from the Arc website and save yourself the trouble. You'll actually get more Zen. Number 20. Lastly, but not leastly, don't rush to get to level 80. There's no pile of money at the end. It's not going to disappear tomorrow. It will always be there. Take your time and enjoy the game because you're not going to enjoy the zones as much the second or third or fourth time through. There is no experience quite like the first one, so just take your time and enjoy it. Well, that's all 20 of the tips I have for you today. Woo! If you learned something or if you have some tips of your own to share, make sure to let me know in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, give me your thumb to add to my thumb collection. I need to start rebuilding that. Thank you for watching or listening or whatever, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.